Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm going to do a talk today on the illusion of fear. Well, this is my interpretation of it anyway. So, unless you're in immediate danger, fear is an illusion. But if you are in immediate danger, then fear is very useful and real. It puts you in fight or flight mode, so you can run from your attacker or fight your attacker. Fear can also prevent you doing something foolish, like swimming out to sea for miles or going into a burning house. But what's happening is that a huge percent of the population fears a small amount of fear as anxiety or worry pretty much all of the time, and that's what we call stress. There's a significant amount of the population fears fear all the time as well, or is limited by fear. So what's going on? Well, it's important to know that you are God. You are the divine consciousness inside the body. You have a body which houses you. You have a mind which you think with, which houses your belief system and which keeps the homeostasis on your body. You have an ego, which is your personality self. And your ego is the voice you hear in your head with the what ifs. But your ego is not you. It's just your personality. And you came into this world with some limiting beliefs already from other lives or from your ancestral lineage. Before the age of 7, you created a whole lot of beliefs about you and the world around you. But the only trouble is, before the age of 7, you don't have that life experience to come to the right conclusions. So you tend to believe everything that people tell you. And also if people are stressed out, say your parents were stressed out about money and you were only 3 years old, would you believe that what would your belief be when they were stressed out? It wouldn't be, oh, my parents are stressed out about money, would it? No, it would be more along the lines of, okay, my parents are grumpy with me, it must be something I've done wrong, that I must be bad or I must be naughty, etc. So we create all these beliefs, but we jump to the wrong beliefs. And it's really common for people to have beliefs along the lines of that I'm not enough, that is, I'm not smart enough or I'm not beautiful enough, things like that. Beliefs that they're not lovable, that they're not worthy and deserving, things like that. Now, everything that you perceive, that is, you see, you hear, touch, taste, smell, etc., is filtered through the lens of your belief system. And if you had a belief that you were fearless, then you would be. But what happens if you're trying to step out of your comfort zone? Like you're going on, let's say, the example, you're going on a blind date. I mean, it could be something like you're going for a job interview or something like that, or you want to do something adventurous. But let's take the example that you're going on a blind date. So what happens is your subconscious mind flicks through its belief system. Now, your subconscious mind is processing bits of data at billions of pieces of data per second. It's pretty amazing. And think of your subconscious mind as a computer. It's programmed with everything you've programmed with it. It can't actually tell the difference between what's true and what's not. So it's merely full of everything you've put into it, whether that was true or not. So it's flicking through all its beliefs. And your role of your subconscious mind is to keep you safe. So it's looking for anything that's going to, any belief that you have that may not keep you safe. So it comes across these beliefs that I'm not smart enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not lovable, I must have done something wrong, something like that. And it thinks, okay, I'm going to red flag these beliefs are triggered, and then these beliefs start to play as mind tapes over and over again. And consciously you can't hear them, but subconsciously you can. Now, also we need to talk about the body. The body is highly intelligent, and the body hears these beliefs. I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, things like that. Your body also has the memory of every traumatic event that's happened to it, and it stores this memory in its cells. The body also has cellular memory from other lives too. So what happens is the body gets triggered, and the body then fears the fear, the anxiety and the worry about going on this blind date, because it thinks it's not worthy enough, it thinks it's not beautiful enough or handsome enough, etc., etc. So your body fears this fear, and then you fear the fear that your body's feeling. Then what happens, another effect, is that your ego, your personality self, picks up on this fear that your body's feeling, and it is the role of your ego to keep you safe too. So your ego then comes into play, and it perceives a threat. So your ego has several ways it can slow you down. It can cause the feelings of things like anger, resentment, hatred, unforgiveness, those kind of emotions, to keep people away. If it was something along the lines of this blind date, it would create feelings of anxiety or worry, or maybe feelings like unworthiness or undeserving, to try and stop you going on this blind date. The ego then comes in with its what ifs. What if they don't like me? What if I'm not beautiful enough? What if the restaurant doesn't serve food I like? And the list of what ifs is endless, isn't it? So before you know where you are, you've been completely and utterly sabotaged by your limiting beliefs, sabotaged by the fear from your body, and sabotaged by your ego. Now, your ego has common fears, and these are common to most people. Fear of change, fear of humiliation, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of loneliness, fear of judgment. But pretty much everything boils down to the fear of rejection. Fear of rejection is a big one. And that is because if you were rejected as a child, when you're dependent on adults to keep you alive, then it is possible you would die. And also, we also have the collective consciousness of times where we lived in tribes or clans or something like that. And if we were rejected from the tribe or clan, then it is possible that we might die. So if you find yourself feeling fearful, just sit down and shut your eyes. What is this actually a fear of? Is it a fear of the unknown? Is it a fear of change? Etc., etc. See if you can work it out. And then see if you can work out what beliefs you have that created that fear in the first place. So can you see that this fear isn't yours? This fear is coming from your beliefs, which came from other lives and your ancestral lineage before the age of 7, which are not relevant to you as an adult. This fear is coming from your body. Your body can be hurt and your body can be die, whereas you, the divine consciousness, cannot. And this fear is coming from your ego, your personality, and your ego tries to keep you small, it tries to keep the status quo, and it tries to make you fit in so you don't get hurt. Therefore, fear must be an illusion. And a great acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. When you know yourself as an infinite being that cannot die, it starts to free you. And when you know yourself as an infinite being that cannot die, and that fear, you really understand that fear is an illusion, and that you can you can co-create your life, then it really starts to liberate you. So what are the common symptoms of fear? Well, we all know the thumping heart and the dry mouth and the butterflies in the stomach. But fear is a trickster, and fear will disguise itself. So fear can disguise itself, as I said before, things like anger, resentment, hatred, unforgiveness, things like that, to keep people away. It is common, and that's really common if you have beliefs that you're not good enough or that you're not lovable. It can disguise itself as unworthiness or undeserving, again, to try and keep you small. It can disguise itself in things like guilt, emotions such as guilt and shame. They also have their roots in the fear of rejection. It can disguise itself as procrastination. You have something you don't want to do on your to-do list, and you keep putting it off, and it keeps going to the end of the to-do list. Even if you find yourself putting things like cleaning the oven, which is a grotty job, in front of this thing that you're scared of. And your ego will come up with lots of excuses why you can't do this thing you're fearful of. Oh, I must do that instead. It can disguise itself as perfectionism. And again, this comes down to a fear of rejection. You know, you're trying to, if you have a belief that if my house is perfect and I look perfect and I sound perfect, smell perfect, etc., then I'm less likely to be rejected. Even things like bullying and being over-controlling, they also have their roots in fear. Some addictions do too. You know, if you have an ego that doesn't want you to change and step out and be seen, then it might make you overeat, or you might be addicted to drugs or alcohol, something like that, because, you know, it's really hard to step out and be seen if you're obese or you're always drugged up or drunk. So when you're finding excuses not to do something, sit down without judgment. You know, don't judge yourself, don't berate yourself. What is the root cause of this excuse? What is this fear of? And what is the belief that's creating that fear? You know, look, when you set in your imagination, imagine you're on your deathbed. Are you going to look back and think, oh, at least I had a perfectly clean house, or at least I mastered that video game? No, you're not, are you? You're going to look back on your deathbed and go, oh, well, that was a lot of wasted opportunities. It is also important to know that if you feel fear or anxiety or worry, or any emotion often, then it becomes normal for you and you're not aware that it's affecting you. And what you've done is raise your baseline of that emotion. And this can also happen if your mother felt a lot of fear or anxiety or worry, whatever, when you were in the womb, then you can be born with a high baseline of that emotion. So it is really normal for you to feel fearful or afraid, etc., but you're just not aware of it. However, it is affecting you. You can pick up fear from other people too. Now, it might be useful for you to know that if you've been through a really traumatic event, your amygdala gland, which is in your brain, can become shocked, and this makes it oversensitive. So you might find yourself oversensitive to smell, light, sound, taste, touch. You might find that your body is oversensitive, or you might find it goes numb, and you will find yourself jumping at shadows. You perceive threats where there are none. You overreact to situations, and you can overreact to something somebody says or something that you read, and it's like you get hijacked. You know, you can just be minding your own business, and all of a sudden you're on complete self-defense and you're ranting and raving, for example, or you're going carrying in the corner, or lying on your bed in the fetal position, and this is because of your amygdala gland being oversensitive. If that's the case, you can ask Spirit for help. The Spirit, I term Spirit as God, the angels, and the Ascended Masters. You can ask them to help desensitize your amygdala gland. You can also use essential oils, and EFT, which is tapping, is useful for that too. So if you're feeling anxiety or fear, there are several things you can do to help yourself. First of all, know it's not yours. Unless your life is in immediate danger, of course, it's not yours, and that it's an illusion, and you can keep repeating over and over again, fear is an illusion. Now, the best antidote to fear is joy. So if you find you're fearful often, find a piece of music or a video that you like, or something that brings you a lot of joy, and watch it a few times so you can really feel that joy with it, and then you can conjure up that feeling of joy at any time. Then when you're feeling fearful or anxious, really conjure up that feeling of joy and send it. Say you're feeling fearful in your chest, send that fear, if you're feeling fearful in your chest, send that joy into the center of your chest. Or you can also imagine breathing joy in and sending it to every cell in your body. keep writing over and over again, and keep saying over and over again, and write it on post-it notes so you keep reading it. I believe I'm peaceful and calm. Make that a new belief. You can go into your heart center, which is finding the real you. So you can step into your mind. Just imagine yourself stepping into your mind and stepping into a lift or a whirlpool. That lift or whirlpool takes you down to the center of your chest, and you step out. And you can feel just beautiful peace and calm and love in there. And that's a great way of resetting you. Stay aware and present. So stay aware of your thoughts and what you're creating with your thoughts. It's your thoughts that create your beliefs. So your thoughts are going to create what you experience. So be aware of your thoughts and the mental pictures you have in your head. And try and stay present. And that means, let go of the past. And stop worrying about the future. Just try and stay in the now. Cuddle your body. Body, it's okay. I love you and you are safe. So you're going to reassure it. Treat your body as a child. Cuddle your arms. It's okay, body. You're safe. I've got you. Nobody's going to hurt you. Okay, so remember, your body can be hurt. Nobody's going to hurt your body. I've got your back. Send a burst of love to your ego, which is in your mind. So send a burst of love upwards and reassure your ego that it's safe, that you're safe. It's okay, ego. I'm safe. A really important one to do is cuddle your inner child. So my interpretation is that the inner child is the voice of your body. And it's your body that's stuck in stuck at a certain time because of something that happened to it. So you can, if you knew something happened to you age 4, you imagine yourself age 4. Otherwise, imagine yourself aged about 7, and you're going to imagine you as a child sitting on your lap, and you're just going to cuddle that child, and you're just going to rub their back, and you're just going to reassure them over and over again that they are safe, that you love them, that nobody's going to reject them, that they are worthy, they are deserving, that they're wonderful and they're beautiful as they are, and they are perfect as they are. Treat them as a really scared child, and anything that you can do to reassure them. Now, if you find you can't love yourself at that age, imagine it's your daughter or your son, or a friend's daughter or son. Sometimes that's an easier way. It's important to know that when you fear any emotion strongly or over and over again, it can become stuck energy in your body or your energy field. And when it's stuck in you or in your energy field, it does affect you. So before you go to bed every night, ask the angelic realm to help clear it from your body and your field. And you might find you feel a little bit of tingling or warmth, or sometimes your arms and legs can give a little jerk too, and that's just the stuck emotional energy leaving your body. And that's just the same as when you're in a dream and you're walking down the steps and you miss a step and your leg jerks. Well, that's stuck emotional energy leaving your body. So it's exactly the same as that. You can listen to, there's something called solfeggio frequencies. If you listen to 396 hertz, that will start to transmute the fear energy in your body. Now, it's something that you have to listen to really often. You might have to listen to it every day for months before you start to see results, but it is working in the background. So be aware if you're making excuses to stop you stepping out and showing the world the real you. Sit down without judgment, work out what's going on, what's the fear of, and what belief created that fear. Then you can rewrite that belief. And to rewrite a belief, you say it, read it, see it, think it, write it over and over again for at least 21 days. Make sure it's in the positive and in the now. So your new belief would be, I am safe to blah, 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 rather than I'm going to be safe to, or that's in the positive, and in the now, that's in the now, and it's I'm not scared of. So it's I am safe to rather than I'm not scared of, or I'm going to be safe to. Sorry, I got a bit jumbled up there. Okay, and so that will help you rewrite your new belief. But just remember, the world needs the real you. It needs you to step out and, make sure that when you're on your deathbed, that you can look back and go, well, you know, I did it. I stepped up and I did it. Well, I hope you find that useful. Much love and many blessings from my heart to yours.